everybody, Tony D and little Joan here with your final hot take of the evening. We're just going to blast through the news headlines. Okay, Joan? Is that okay with you? Ugh, man, we both got headaches from sitting in the house with all this sanitizer. I've tried everything to get it out of the house, but I don't know if it's working. Little Joan's upset too. But let's go through some of these news stories. Biden AG nominee Merrick Garland wrote in the 70s that song about military R-word sexual assault was, quote, hilarious. Ooh, time to cancel Merrick Garland. But he won't be canceled. See, because his politics are on the left. Biden wants him. Ergo, that's just something he wrote in the 70s. You know, the media is not going to report this. Well, Breitbart reports it because they're right wing, but you know the regular media is not going to care. He should be canceled by the rule of the cancel mob. He should be completely canceled. They should be lining up at the Capitol right now, the lefties. They should be marching in the streets. But no, they won't be. They absolutely will not be. And look, this was something he wrote as a college student in the 70s. Do I care? No, I care more that about his responses about the things he would and wouldn't do. He sounds like a total partisan hack. Sounds like he'll do whatever Biden wants him to do, and sounds like some of it's going to be punishing Trump supporters, putting the kibosh on the bunch of things Trump was doing. I mean, I'm more concerned about that. But again, it's just more hypocrisy from the left and the cancel culture mob. But let's go over some of these headlines. Australian ABC reporters, not ABC, I don't think that's the American Broadcasting Company. I think that's the Australian ABC, whatever. It probably stands for Australian Broadcasting Company. The reporters were told not to use the term, I'm going to say it, YouTube, pedophilia to describe child sex abusers because, quote, not all pedophiles molest children. Whoa. That was a bizarre report. I actually read that one from the Gateway Pundit. Basically, it sounds like someone in the corporate structure there is really taking the word to task for no good reason other than they're paranoid of being, I guess, sued. But the thinking was that the non-offending pedophiles or the ones who haven't offended yet won't seek help. That was the thinking, like, to not use that. Yeah, it's totally stupid. But I'm going to put Joan down. She's so squirmy. Go ahead, Joan. Go do something fun and dog-like. Cute and adorable. The left, or some conservatives has been talking about how the left will eventually open things up to people like this and try to claim the term. And it was a joke. In Sacha Baron Cohen's last HBO special, there was actually a joke where one of the characters tries to reclaim that word. And it's unfortunately part of the leftist ideology. And I'm talking the hard left. Because they have no limits. There are no limits on anything they want to do. They literally want to do anything and everything at any time, and everybody should be able to, including children. So they will eventually get there, the radical left. And I think some of them have. Because I think that's why there's such a problem with pedophilia in Antifa. There seems to be an inordinate amount of pedophiles in that organization that have been exposed. They don't seem to be exposed from within, from the Antifa loosely knit organization, but you know, some of these people get caught or killed, and then it's revealed, boom, you know, they're past. So, yeah, this is one of the reasons the the Democrats really need to sever ties with the extreme left, but they won't until they get burned by something like this, and that day's a coming. Can't come soon enough. U.S. and South Korea agree on cost-sharing deal for troops. Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. We should just pull all the troops out of there. They're not needed, especially now. The North and South Koreans are coming together. They're going to have a long-term peace. They want to be reunited. The South has all the technology, all the money. The North has a bunch of weapons, but they're a bit outdated. They have a lot of them, but they don't have a loyal army. Everybody's starving. The South will take over the North, essentially. The only question is whether Kim Jong-un will end up in a prison cell or on the French Riviera, banging supermodels for the rest of his life. That's the real, only undecided question. So, I don't think there's any chance the North is going to start a war and take over the South. That just would be a disaster for both sides. So, there's no reason the U.S. needs to be there, except that we sell the South Koreans a lot of weapons, and they were going to sell them a missile system right before Trump took office, and they put a kibosh on that because Trump was like, well, why don't we just declare peace and get the hell out of there? That they came up with a cost sharing is an improvement. I'll say that. I'll say most of it's probably because of Trump, but we still have 28,000 troops there. What do we need 28,000 troops for? That's not enough to start the war. If a war goes on in North Korea and they decide to fire in, we'll lose most of those troops. I guess they might keep a beachhead and be able to tell us so we could try to save them, but basically they're held hostage. If the North really wants to, they'd go in there and blow everything up, along with 1 million or so people in Seoul. So it's pointless to keep them there unless you're making money or you're politically connected are making money. So they really should come off. And, Biden could call it a victory. He could call it his victory by bringing those troops home. He could save millions upon millions of dollars and chalk that up as a win and actually have something to partially fill the hole he's digging for us with this $1.2 trillion stimulus. I mean, it wouldn't fill the hole, not by a long shot, but at least some of the costs would be offset. But, the fact that the thing that worries me is that they're signing this deal at all, because it indicates to me that maybe Biden's actually, and the administration is dimly aware, oh wow, we've really spent way too much money. And this is their half-ass attempt to get a little back. But, cost sharing? How much are we going to get from the South Koreans? Okay, we get a few million. We could cut the overhead of 28,000 troops by bringing them home. Texas representative introducing legislation to finish President Donald Trump's wall. Good. That would be great. I mean, it'd be a lot for Texas to do, but they are nearby. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad. They could at least finish up parts of it. I know there's like a hole and some maintenance that just got left behind. So yeah, go to it, Texas. I mean, in some respects, it's appropriate because Texas would benefit the most from a border wall. They need it. They want it more than anybody. So, I mean, whatever you could spare, Texas. Oh, this was a weird story. From the Daily Mail, a 7-year-old's homework assignment said Jewish people were to blame for the death of Christ. This is in the UK. Bizarre that anybody put that in a homework assignment and thought, yeah, that sounds like a good question. Like, why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. What the hell is going on in the UK? I mean, just weird. This is why we don't have religion in our schools. Not that our schools are any good. There's a bunch of stuff on Gab Trends, I'll just tell you, about a certain election. Maybe check it out if you get some time. I can't read them. YouTube will probably censor me. But there was almost enough that I could have done another BitChute exclusive. But quite frankly, I've got such a headache from these fumes. Tanzania rejects beer virus hysteria, says no to Big Pharma's vaccine regime. That's from Big League Politics. I've been reading some stuff on Big League Politics. It's a pretty hyperbolic site, but I mean, I read a couple articles there that seemed good, but then now I've read a few. It's like, whoa, it's very spicy. Switzerland votes to ban the burqas and hijabs. I spelled it weird. In public. You know, the problem is not banning the burqa and the hijab. The problem is immigration. They're letting in far too many immigrants in Europe, and they're not integrating into the countries they emigrate to. I mean, you need to integrate somewhat. I'm not suggesting you should lose your entire cultural identity because you move to another country, but I mean, you should at least make an effort to be a part of that country. You know, people come to America, they learn to speak English, they take the citizenship test, they do American things. You don't have to do all of them. You just, it's just nice that you make a little bit of an effort, that you come here and you become American. Fat, lazy, watching TV. Government data shows masks had no impact on beer virus spread. That kind of doesn't surprise me, but we'll see where that goes. Meghan Markle, there's a lot of Meghan Markle news on Gab's Trends today. I don't know why. She's accused of wearing Saudi leader's blood money earrings after Khashoggi's death. Who cares? I don't know why the royals they're not even royals anymore. Who is Meghan Markle and who cares? I mean, God, she must be amazing in the sack. That's all I'll say for Harry to just give it up for her. More stuff on voting. Gotta check out that voting stuff. Livid NYC mom when teacher gets livid when teacher plays rap video in Zoom class. What the hell is going on? Queen urged to apologize to Meghan Markle on The View. Now, the Queen is 94. Let me tell you something. When you're 94, you don't apologize to anybody. You know why? Because you're going to die. So your attitude at 94 is, F you. I'm not apologizing to you. This is a woman who's been through it all. The Queen, I mean, she's not my queen, but I think it's interesting. She's been through so much. She survived World War II when her country was being bombed to hell and back, and she was a target. She was a target in World War II. If the bad guys from World War II could have hit her, they would have. She was there helping the people as best she could, and she's a figurehead. She's really an iconic figurehead in that world. So you going up against the 94-year-old queen? Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that, Meghan. What is this? So bizarre to me that Meghan Markle took Prince Harry away from the royals. Like, he's given up everything. For what? Some chick? Some hot chick. Okay, dude. Whatever. Seems a lot to give up. Oh, this is a great story. Great story. I wish I had seen it before I did my other San Francisco thing, but San Francisco piece was running too long. So this is how bad San Francisco is. We talked about the Poop Patrol. We talked about the $16.1 million tent city in the other video. San Francisco TV reporter was robbed of camera at gunpoint. Yeah. So this guy was, he's over here in a blue jacket. He was out on the street interviewing people about crime because there was a rash of carjackings. And he went to go interview the neighbor of somebody who got carjacked. And a bunch of guys pulled up, jumped out of the car, took his camera, and took off. And the response from him was something like, "Oh, well, I just kept my cool because I didn't have a gun and he did." And I just thought, well, yeah, because you're in California and San Francisco, and you're probably super liberal and probably are against people carrying guns. That wouldn't have happened in Texas, because the guys driving around in Texas would have went, "Yeah, are we really gonna jack this guy up for a camera? Yeah, he could be packing heat. Yeah, let's not do it." That would have been the reaction in Texas. But in California, it's like, "Oh, here's a guy." Yeah, he doesn't have a gun. And then the neighbor had like a very similar reaction, like, "I just said to myself, I'm not being shot today." Well, not having a gun didn't facilitate that. You were just lucky that they didn't bother to shoot you two. And the two guys in the piece just seemed very kind of soft. And I just thought to myself, yeah, you two don't seem very threatening. I just would have robbed you. In fact, I'm surprised the guys didn't go, "Yeah, give me your wallet while I'm here too." So that's San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen. Don't move there, is my advice. NBA All-Star Game. Oh, listen to this. NBA All-Star Game to open with special conversation between Kamala Harris and Michael B. Jordan. Why? Oh, let's watch the basketball game. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's sit down. Hey, what is this? Oh, it's a special conversation with Kamala Harris and Michael B. Jordan. What, pray tell, is the special conversation about? Oh, could it possibly be incredibly woke? I think so. The exact details were not reported ahead of the game, but one of the charitable efforts of this year's All-Star Game is to raise $3 million for historically black colleges and universities. And the vice president is the first graduate of a black college to service in one of the nation's top two offices, the New York Post reported. So, it doesn't even look like they're in the same room. Yeah, President Trump gave a record number of dollars to historically black colleges. So I guess this is an attempt to make people forget that. Using the NBA. I mean, the NBA is already super woke and super beholden to China, so I don't think this is really doing anything for anybody's image. Especially Kamala Harris. This is the first thing about China I've heard of. So that doesn't seem good. No. Michael B. Jordan, he's an actor. I'm a big fan of Michael B. Jordan. I'm just not going to watch this because it's going to make me not a fan. There was some stuff about immigration. AP's Pace. This is a reporter named Pace. Biden has no border plan. Migrants think they have an open invitation, which is very upsetting because the next headline says, "Migrant sex offender arrest up dramatically in one California border sector." Yeah. See, the problem with letting people in your country and not vetting them is that you're going to get a lot of undesirable people because other countries encourage that. Castro opened the jails back in the 80s and set all the prisoners afloat to come to Miami. Because why wouldn't he? Oh, we got a bunch of people in jail. We can't feed them anymore. It's costing us all this money. Oh, we'll cut them loose and let them go to America. What do I care? They might drown. Who cares? They won't be here. We won't have to feed them. I mean, that's logic. That's, we don't necessarily get the best and brightest. And that's not to say everybody coming across the border is like that. Obviously not. There are people who want to work very hard. But there are going to be plenty of criminals in the mix too. So the point is you should have somebody at the border going, well, who are you? How can we know? How can we trust you? Do you have work? Why do you have so many tattoos? Why did they all say MS-13? I mean, you need some kind of border thing. If they come from Mexico, you got to work with the Mexican government and hope they can flag the really bad people. They're not great at that, I think, but at least have something. Biden just thinks, oh, we'll let all these people in and instant Democratic voters. Not going to be the case in a few years. More stuff about Cuomo, of course. Another female aide, of course, came forth. This is the third aide, I think. Third? Is it the third one? Yeah, Cuomo's done, but he's announced he's not going to resign. People are calling for his resignation. He should really go. If he had any shame whatsoever, he'd go. But where's the other one about Chris Cuomo? Oh, that must have got moved to another page. There was an article. It's the headline. Oh, here it is. CNN's Chris Cuomo to Don Lemon. I'm black on the inside. What the heck is Chris Cuomo talking about? This is from Breitbart. And it's like, just when you think Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon couldn't get any wackier, CNN's Chris Cuomo said, quote, "I'm black on the inside" during a handover segment with his colleague Don Lemon on Friday, as he cited the words from the theme song in the 1970s program, Good Times. What? Okay. I guess that's okay. Seems like anybody who jokes around like that immediately gets canceled, but like Chris Cuomo can do it because, again, his politics are left, so it's fine for him. There were some interesting technological developments today, too. This one's from Forbes. Robot mothership to launch drone swarms from sea, underwater, air, and sea, and near space. So, the Army's going to go totally robotic, which is good. I hope it goes robotic before it goes completely woke. But that also means there's going to be fewer soldiers and fewer jobs. So there was also another one. What was it? Oh yeah, they have a robot patrolling a Las Vegas apartment complex to fight crime. I'm not sure how a robot fights crime. It looks like a giant sort of torpedo that just rolls around on wheels. I mean, somebody could push it over and you're done. But apparently they're making the attempt. So, and Kroger opens fully automated Ohio fulfillment center as fears mount of rising technological unemployment. Yeah, let's end on this. The odds are technology will end quite a few jobs. I wrote a short story years ago about an automated warehouse, and the computer figures out that if it kills one of the employees, the company will make more money. Therefore, it doesn't purposely kill somebody. What it does is it stacks a square box on top of a triangle box by mistake. The triangle box slides down and crushes the guy and kills him. When that happens, he's no longer paid, and the computer concludes, haha, that saved the company a lot of money, therefore I should keep doing it. So the computer then tries to do it again, but this guy figures it out. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but what will probably happen is the warehouse will be mostly automated. There'll be just one guy kind of monitoring the situation. Maybe a handful of guys who just sweep up and keep the place decent, but for the most part, the robots will do all the work. They'll load the truck. The packages will come in and out, and there'll just be a guy watching it on a TV screen. And when the robots get more sophisticated, then you won't even have a guy needed to be present. He'll be in a facility far away monitoring the screens in multiple warehouses for problems. And then if there's a problem, he'll deploy a team. They'll outsource it to a team, and their job specialty will be to go to a warehouse full of robots, let's say, and clean up and put the robot back on its wheels and send it on its way, right? Or you'll push another button, and then the maintenance robots will come swarming out, and they'll do all that. But that's where we're headed. So, you're talking a tremendous amount of warehouse workers that'll be out of work. The truckers will be out of work eventually because they'll have automated truckers. They already sort of do. But, right now they're not fully automated, but give it like 10 years. And the self-driving trucks will drive all night, right? You'll be driving along at 3 o'clock in the morning and you'll just see trucks going, vroom. And, with a computer, they'll drive at exactly the speed, right? They'll drive exactly at the speed limit constantly, or not. I mean, I guess they could try to save money by making them drive over the speed limit, but it could be a problem in that. It might be the one saving grace of a trucker that he would actually drive faster than a robot. And then eventually, I think what they'll do is they'll designate certain lanes as robot only. Like, you won't be able to drive in them because they'll just be for the trucker robots. And then eventually whole highways will be dedicated just to the truck robots. And you'll have to take the back roads or whatever, or the trains or the mass transit service. Yeah, that's the future. I don't know who's going to be able to afford that because there'll be no jobs. So, kids, learn to fix robots. And with that happy thought, I bid you adieu, listeners. Thanks for tuning in. Check me and Joan out tomorrow. As always, we do 4 videos. And check out my books. Links in the description. So subscribe, like, and check us out on BitChute and Rumble. Good night, America.